What's up, family? Welcome to Ask to My Ox,
where we challenge you to stop playing and start pushing.
This is my beautifully delicious, exquisite, compassionate, understanding,
Oh, you're really trying to outdo me right here. That's what you're trying to do, y'all.
and trustworthy wifey.
All right, and this is my wonderful, conswappiest husband.
Conswappiest?
Aize.
Okay.
I took it back to my childhood. When I was growing up, my father used to always say the word conswappiest. My father and his father.
What does that mean?
And it was just a word that was in my family. It's just, no word can outdo it. When you're just really trying to, like, conswappiest is just the ultimate. All right, now that y'all peeked into my childhood, welcome to Ask the Ma'ats. We are the Ma'ats. What do? Who are we? We are married. We answer questions. We give our advice. We definitely give our opinions, and we always keep it 100%
real.
Real. All right, y'all. Today, we are asking you to get real. Keep it real and maintain the realness by looking in your relationship, looking for signs, trends, themes, patterns that might be emerging, or maybe they've been there for quite some time. But if you find any of the things that we're going to share with you today in your relationship, know that you are in danger, my friend. The relationship is in danger. Bump, 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 warning. So pay attention, be real, and be honest. And then start to move toward resolution.
All right, the first thing that you want to pay attention to is escalation. Escalation in your relationship.
It's basically, when you are trying to up the ante over and over again. You say something, now I say something. You ain't even focused on the issue no more. You just focused on getting your point out.
You're trying to outdo the other person.
Now I'm just trying to hurt your feelings because, I'm just mad.
Yeah.
That's escalation. When there's a pattern like that exists in the relationship, that's not a good thing, particularly if it's, consistent, right? If it's happening over and over again, that's not good because that means resolution isn't happening, but what you're doing is creating a habit of dissension. Number two is invalidation. Invalidation ain't nothing like it. Everybody wants to be validated, do they not? Everybody wants to feel like what they have to say is important. When we get into putting down our spouses,
like condescending comments.
Oh yeah.
We all got the capacity. Some do it better than others, but that's not a good.
Why you look at me when you say that?
No.
Some do it better than others.
We all have the capacity to make these condescending comments,
and we do it sometimes subtly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's straight up like, that's stupid. That just don't make no sense. But there's subtle things that we do where people feel devalued,
That's a danger sign in your relationship.
Whether you're using your education, to put someone down, or
using your income.
Using your income, right? These subtle kinds of things. Invalidation is a dangerous pattern that can start to rear its ugly head in the relationship. And if that's happening, you need to cut it, and you need to look at what the root of that is. The third thing here is negative interpretations. Negative interpretations. One of the things we always tell our couples is this, when we're working with them: take what your spouse is saying at face value. If you're having a conversation about something, what we tend to do is read into what the other person is saying. And what you have to learn how to do is just to not respond to your reading into things. I think it's kind of automatic. Like, I do it all the time.
Yeah, you do.
I do, don't I?
Yeah.
I do. But, you'll check me. He checks me and said, that's not what I said. And that's not what I mean.
I'll give y'all one perfect example of how my wife has done it.
Didn't?
Yeah, I will. I'm doing it.
Okay.
Sometimes,
I
might take the initiative
I'm just playing,
and go out and get some food for the family to eat. And I might decide to make dinner for the family. And I'm doing this because...
You're going to try to use an example, make him look all noble and whatnot.
I'm doing this because, I might want to give my wife some space, take the load off of her back, make it easier for her, and, just tend to the children so that she can have some space and, life is all gravy. But my wife has told me that, me doing that particular act, it doesn't necessarily relieve her or free her up the way that I might think that it does. She might be reading into my behavior and into my actions, and me doing what I'm doing could be interpreted by her as saying, I feel like what she does in that particular area is inadequate. And so she's reading deeply into my actions. And while I'm trying to do a good thing, the reality is that sometimes, she might see not so good because she's thinking that I'm trying to pass judgment on the way she does things, which ain't true.
Yeah, and I know the women out there are like, what kind of person would be upset about the fact that you're trying to help him out with the dinner? I'm not like that all the times, but I am a little special, I will admit, and there are times, there's times when he does it and I love it, but there are other times when you know how well, maybe you don't know, but sometimes I just have the meal planned out in my head. I know exactly how I'm going to flow for the evening, and, you know, he just starts going on, and I'm like, what? This is my area. What are you doing? And I get a little agitated, but I'm reading into his actions.
I'm not trying to do nothing to her, but she might be thinking that I am trying to do something.
Yeah, like, do you have a problem with what I was planning on making? And I remember what you said the other day about, you feel like I'm not making enough healthy stuff, and blah, blah, blah. Just cut it, and realize that you have to learn. It's a learning process to take your spouse at their word. Yeah. And just leave it at that.
All right, last but not least, withdrawal and avoidance. Now, what I will say is that not all men, but a lot of men have this issue where, when they're engaged in a conversation with their spouse.
And it could be men or women.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but I know that a lot of men, at least I know from my example in our relationship, that in some situations, I may withdraw from conversations.
Drink some McDonald's soda, bro.
I mean, you're giving them like advertisement. Advertisement.
I'm sorry. Edit that out.
Sometimes in our relationship, what I would do is I might withdraw and I might avoid certain conversations, certain topics because, number one, I don't want to deal with it at that particular time. And if I feel like the conversation is going on for too long, in the past what I would do is I would just have the conversation from another room. So my wife could be sitting right here on the couch like we're doing right now. And I'll be having the conversation from the bathroom.
You just get up and go to the bathroom. I'm still listening. And so then I would say, I'm right here.
And then what my wife would do is that I'm not talking to you while you're in the bathroom and I'm sitting right here. When you come back in here, that's when we will resume the conversation. So what I'm saying is that, withdrawing from the conversation, avoiding the conversation, those are not good things. Those are behaviors that you need to cut because they will derail a healthy relationship in its development.
And so the point that we're making here is that these things in and of themselves, they happen in relationships, okay? But they're not things that you want to continue as a pattern. Sometimes certain things around the holidays, people kind of avoid certain things or tensions come up, that's an isolated situation. But if there is a pattern of these things, if there is a pattern of escalation, a pattern of invalidation, a pattern of negative interpretations, or a pattern of withdrawal and avoidance, you are in a danger zone. Because the more you do those things, like with anything, you are developing a skill. You're developing a muscle, and you're getting your weight up in avoidance. You're getting your weight up and really getting real good at invalidating your spouse. And those things are like poison. They poison the relationship. They poison the communication. They halt progress. And they just, they just stunt your overall potential for growth. So we're hoping that you don't see yourself here in terms of a pattern existing in the relationship. But if you do, you need to stop playing and start pushing, because this ain't gonna work.